Good, too.
Good afternoon. I would like to call to order the January 7th, 2020 License Board hearing. Susan, will you please call the roll?
Yes. Chief Cadigan.
Here.
Director Duca.
Present.
Commissioner Jones.
Here.
Chief Keenan.
Here.
Chair Crispo.
Present. I will now read into the record the open meeting law. Pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings or transmissions are being made, whether perceived or unperceived, by those present and are deemed acknowledged and permissible. And first on the agenda this afternoon is a hearing regarding the request of the United First Parish Church, 1306 Hancock Street, for a special use permit, one-day beer and wine license for their annual fundraiser on Saturday, February 8th from 6 to 10 p.m. Patricia Sullivan. Hi, how are you?
Hi, fine, thank you.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about your event?
Well, this is our 11th annual event to raise money for our outreach programs. And we have a chili bake-off, and people make the chilies at home, and then we keep them for tasting. And we would like to serve beer and wine also. And we have a silent auction as well.
Thank you. Any questions or concerns from anyone in the audience regarding the United First Parish Church for special use one-day permit for beer and wine? Seeing none, board members?
Patricia, if you just contact the health department just to get a one-day license from us. There's no charge for it.
Oh, contact the health department.
Health department, because you're going to have food.
Okay.
Okay.
That's the first time.
Oh, well, really?
We've never done that before.
All right, well, we won't charge you.
First for everything.
First for everything. Okay.
Okay.
So, any other questions or concerns from anyone? Seeing
I'd like to
none.
make a motion to grant the request of the United First Parish Church, 1306 Hancock Street, for a special use permit one-day beer and wine license for their 11th annual fundraiser on Saturday, February 8th from 6 to 10 p.m., represented by Patricia Sullivan.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. You're all set.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Have fun. Second on the agenda is a hearing regarding the request of the Poor Yard for a cabaret license for the premise located at 208 Washington Street. Mark DeBona, you're not Mark DeBona.
I'm not Mark DeBona. Although I'd love to be Mark DeBona, actually. He's got a nice business. Be careful what you swear in. Yeah. Madam Chair, members of the licensing board, Edward Fleming, on behalf of Mark DeBona and RAC 208 Inc. is actually the applicant, DBA The Poor Yard, for the cabaret license that it's seeking. As you know, the property is at 210 Washington Street. The property is zoned Business B, which, as you know, allows for these types of entertainment licenses to be granted to these to premises like restaurants and pubs and bars and other facilities. As you know, Washington Street is a busy corridor. It's a Business B corridor with restaurants, pubs, and entertainment facilities throughout the area. The city views and has reported in the last year especially significant attention to the Washington Street corridor with the improvements of the Fore River Bridge. It's a great entryway to the city. And the city's been really interested in encouraging new investment and development in the area. And Mark has been wonderful about that. He's put in quite a bit of effort to improve his facility. He acquired, as you know, the Poor House the Poor Yard a number of years ago, and has made substantial improvements to that facility. In addition to that, he's been a great host and a business member in the city, hosting fundraisers for both city officials and members of the community, and supporting people, raising money for people I know just recently in House Neck who suffered through some difficult times in their life. And, he's been great like that in giving back to the community. The cabaret license is really just a continued investment in his business, and we think it's a great addition to the business and a real improvement to that. if you sit in the outside patio of the Washington Street, or of the facility, and you listen to the traffic passing across the road, it's sometimes noisy in and of itself, with ambulances and fire and police vehicles passing. This is really going to be a pleasant addition to that area and improve what's existing today. What Mark is anticipating is providing for really acoustic music outside. Typically would involve 1 to 3 musicians utilizing the microphone and the small speaker to allow them to broadcast their music in the outdoor patio. But it also allows for other types of events, things like a comedian, or even political events where the speakers can then utilize the speaker and use that patio for events for their fundraisers. As you know, Mark had met with Councilor McCarthy a number of times, and last he was here, he agreed to continue this matter so that there could be continued conversation, which there was with Councilor McCarthy. It's my understanding that in those conversations, Councilor McCarthy has indicated that he's no longer in opposition to that proposal, that he believes that Mark's taken the appropriate steps. In addition to Councilor McCarthy's position, I know that Councilor DeBona and other members of the city's administration, members of the school committee, have expressed support of the proposal as well, and I believe that they've submitted letters. I have a copy of a couple of those letters if you need those.
I have put all the letters in a packet and given it already to the board members.
Great.
Thank you.
Great. So we're confident in that this can be done in a very positive and respectful way. Mark's obviously aware of the fact that there's residences next door and in the close proximity, and he'll be very respectful as he utilizes this cabaret license. Interestingly enough, he indicated to me that back in 2018, he actually had 5 test days where the cabaret or music was utilized for the patio. And as far as I know, Chief, there weren't any complaints raised during the use of that license back in 2018. So we're confident that can be done very respectfully.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I do have a letter here from Councilor McCarthy that I will read into the record. Dear License Board, I am writing today to express my opinion in regards to the cabaret license for 208 Washington Street, Poor Yard / Cagney's. Cagney's has an extremely successful business run over the past several years and is a great restaurant for Ward 1 in the city of Quincy. The expansion of the outdoor Poor Yard patio has also been successful. I do still have concerns in granting a cabaret license for the outdoor area. The proximity of the residential multifamily has been in existence long before the patio extension is very close and will most likely have noise issues if an outdoor cabaret is granted. This could, as the board knows, could grow from a DJ to a piano bar to a 3-piece band or less in amplified music. I am not opposed to something reasonable for that area, but given the fact that the unique situation of the outdoor patio in Quincy, I hope the board takes all necessary legal restrictions to come to a common sense decision for the residents in regards to the quality of life. Earlier inspectional services requirements, I believe, were no later than 10 p.m. in regards to off the patio for noise ordinance. No outdoor TV at all. Thank you. Dave McCarthy, Ward 1. I did also provide the letters to you all as well as Ed mentioned, in favor from Catherine Hubley from the Quincy School Committee, Anthony Andronico from the school committee, and Noel DeBona, Counselor at Large for the city of Quincy. Does any other anybody from the audience have any questions or concerns that they would like to bring forward? Hi, Margaret, how are you?
Good afternoon. My name is Margaret LaForest, 236 Rock Island Road, former Ward 1 City Councilor from 2010 to 2017, representing this area. At that time, I stood before you on many occasions to permit many of the patios throughout the city, whether it was Louis, whether it was Grumpy's, whether it was Rizzafa, whether it was the Poor Yard. Each one of those permitting processes had concerns from neighbors about noise complaints. Yet as I stand before you today and have had multiple conversations in the past with the police department, for all of those patios, no noise complaints manifested. I think this opportunity talks about Mayor Koch's inaugural speech the other evening. What do we want the culture to be in the city of Quincy? Outdoor live music in a business district in the Washington Street corridor that our community is investing in is worth this board supporting wholeheartedly. I know for myself, when you want an evening out for entertainment, what a great way to go and then support our local live musicians. He's hired local live musicians. We've had test drives with success. And I think it's really important that you talk about, this is a business district. Yes, there are residential uses. And as you look forward to what you're going to do in downtown, what is the culture that you want for our city? Is a small cabaret license really that problematic when you've had experience without complaints? I know for myself, and I know for many of the supporters of the establishments, Mark is the first one to say yes every time. House Neck Fundraiser Families in Need? Yes. How about the largest toy drive in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts being run out of Cagney's? That doesn't just happen. That takes effort and substantial fundraising that they go above and beyond. So I am here today to speak in support of this application, and you also have the tool before you that if something were to give him the opportunity to try, then you could always claw this back. But to me, this is what the city needs. We need outdoor spaces. We need live music. We need increase in our cultural offerings. So please, I encourage you to support the application today. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor.
I got one quick comment, can I make? John Rutherford, 8 Jackson Street in Taunton. I'm on the board of directors at Torre de Pazzi, which is right next door to this place, and I drive by there all the time, and I've never seen any problem there, Mark. It's always great, okay? So there's never anything wrong there at all. So what my issue is here, that, you know, you either grant them something or you don't grant them something. I hate restrictions. I hate rules, okay? So if we're gonna grant them something, I don't really understand. In there, you said something about like no TV. I mean, how is a TV, you know, worse than someone playing like music or whatever? If someone's having a political event, a lot of the times people are putting displays on the teleprompter, which are on the TV and stuff. So to restrict them and say like no TV is just a not fair restriction, especially if the Patriots are on or if the Red Sox are in the playoffs or something. You know, if you're gonna make the bar close down at 10 on that restriction, that's the restriction that you have. So I'm just in favor of this, just to give him a regular cabaret license without any restrictions on how he can use it. Any time restrictions, I'll leave that up to your judgment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, you.
Any other questions or concerns? Seeing none.
But I guess just to address Councilor McCarthy's comments, Mark doesn't have any concerns about a 10 o'clock limitation on music outdoors. He would, however, like to have the opportunity for televisions. Again, like John indicated, sometimes a sports event or things like that. We understand that there has to be certain noise limitations on those kinds of things, and he'll be respectful of that as well. And if necessary, turn the volume of the TVs off. But those types of things are important to him, but the 10 o'clock limitation would be acceptable.
You can live with that?
Yes.
Sure, no problem.
Quite frankly, I wasn't quite sure how that no TV restriction got put in. I remember back being at the meetings, and for some reason, it didn't really make sense to me. I don't really care about our TV. The only concern that I would have is if you were going to have, I have no problem with live music. I have no problem with amplified music. I do have a problem if you were to put a DJ out there, because that does reverberate through the buildings and whatnot. So the rest of it, I don't have any issues with. I think 10 o'clock is a pretty good compromise.
Sure. We have no interest in, I have no interest in DJ.
And as far as the TVs, I don't have any issue with that really either. I don't think they're any louder than the traffic.
Mark used an example of Brian Mahoney as somebody who we'd like to invite, people like that.
Is he any good?
Apparently he's the guy.
I like Brian. Brian plays well.
Good.
Thank you.
Any other board members? Questions, concerns?
Yeah, so I would just like to point out to the board that in order to change the patio, in order to change the driveway that they had into the patio, I made a record of finding back in June 28th, 2017, and with 10 conditions. Number 4 condition, there shall be no music, television, radio, or video display of any kind. I made that because this is the only location that I'm aware of that's right next door to residential property. Residential properties are also allowed in Business B districts, just as businesses are. They've been there a long time, and it really doesn't matter who owns the property. There may be people living there, families. So I put that in, and Mark agreed to that back in 2017. And that's where that condition came from.
Okay. I thought it was Drew, actually.
What's that?
I thought it was Drew.
Oh, yeah. So it's a zoning issue. In order for him to have the outdoor, he needs both license board approval, and it is a zoning issue at this point. I am not going to be opposed to this. I'm going to recuse myself, and I just wanted to explain the reason why. So, thank you.
Thank you.
So he would have to go before the zoning board to get this changed? Because that was a zoning board decision?
Yes, so as zoning administrator, I made this zoning decision with the input from ward councilor and neighbors, and I made it on behalf of the zoning board. I have also the ability to make adjustments to that, or it could go to the zoning board as well. We can talk more about that.
So if we were to vote yes here, then he'd go back into your
Yeah,
court?
like I said, he would need both decisions.
Thank you. Any other board members? Seeing none. So for the Poor Yard Cabaret license before us this evening, with the 10 PM restriction, I will do a roll call vote. Susan? Oh, you need a motion, yes. Thank you. You got that?
I'll make that one. Madam Chairman, on the request of the Poor Yard, I'd make a motion to grant the request for cabaret license for the premises located at 208 Washington Street, with the hours of operation being 10 PM close on the entertainment, on the cabaret.
Second. And Susan, could you please call the roll?
Chief Cadigan. Director Duke.
Present.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Chief Keating.
Yes.
Chair Crispo.
Yes. Motion passes. You're all set. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Agenda item number 3, hearing regarding the request of the Welcome Massachusetts Market LLC doing business as 99 Ranch Market for a transfer of off-premise package store wine and malt beverage license presently held by Table and Vine Inc. for the premise located at 475 Hancock Street. Welcome Massachusetts Market LLC is wholly owned subsidiary of Welcome California Market Inc. Proposed manager Kelly Lee. Hi, how are you?
I'm not Kelly Lee. I'm Kelly. I guess we should say happy birthday, Madam Chair.
Oh, thank you.
She looks good for her age, doesn't she?
Since everyone else did. My name's Walter Sullivan. I represent Welcome Massachusetts Market LLC. With me, I have Kelly Lee, who is the manager of the LLC, as well as the proposed manager of record for the wine and malt beverage off-premise license. As you know, it's a transfer of a license from Table and Vines to Welcome Massachusetts, doing business as 99 Ranch. It's staying at the same location. The premises inside are staying the same. It's a wholly owned subsidiary of Welcome California, doing business as 99 Ranch Market. They have been in business since 1984. They hold 52 supermarket licenses throughout the country. One in Massachusetts, the first one hopefully is here with a liquor license, hopefully. New Jersey has 3, Maryland has 1, Texas 7, Nevada 2, Washington 2, Oregon 1, and California, where they started, is 34. I will let Kelly give an explanation as to her background, how she's worked for them for 11 years, as well as managing supermarkets that have liquor licenses and restaurants.
Hi, my name is Kelly. I work for Welcome California Market for 11 years as a store manager. Most of the store I work for is in the Northern California, and all of the store in Northern California, we have the alcoholic beverage license. So our company also provides us a quarterly training that for all our employee and management, like remind us like when we sell the alcohol, even like the tobacco, to the minor or to all other people and our customer, how we process all the things, and then how to verify the license and the ID. And then also in our system, we have set up the program that whenever we scan all the alcohol item, we will have pop-up the message. So we need to verify the license and or ID that we have to input the date of birth. Whenever our employee have certain question about that, we also have the program that refresh the light, and then all the manager on site will come over and then take care of it.
Thank you.
I'm a little nervous, sorry.
You did great. Any other questions or concerns from anyone in the audience regarding Welcome Massachusetts Market LLC for wine and malt beverage license?
Peter, there's
Seeing-
no restrictions down there at this present, and then, okay.
Seeing none, board members?
You'll have to get in touch with fire prevention for an inspection.
I'm sure they have, they plan on opening next week. The supermarket will probably be a few months before, if you go for the license, before the ABCC approves.
Perfect. Okay. The application is here, it's been completed, it has been advertised, and so we don't see any problems with that, so it will go to the next phase, seeing that we vote in favor today. So without,
I'd like to make a motion to grant the request of Welcome Massachusetts Market LLC, DBA 99 Ranch Market, for a transfer of the off-premises package store wines and malt beverage license presently held by Table and Vine, Inc., for the premises located at 475 Hancock Street. Welcome Massachusetts Market LLC is a wholly owned subsidiary of Welcome California Market, Inc. Proposed manager is Kelly Lee, represented by Kelly Lee.
Second?
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank
You're
you.
all set.
Thank you very much.
Good luck. Agenda item number 4. Number 1, hearing to determine status of certain Section 12 license holders. Bistro Chai, 39 Cottage Ave, all alcohol beverage license in the name of Jimmy Liang, represented by Tony Liang.
Good afternoon, members of the board. My name is Tony Lang. I'm with the JP Fuji Group. First off, I just want to apologize for the delay in determining the use of the license that was once used at Bistro Chi. It's been kind of a long process for us to find the proper location for us to utilize the license, and we're very selective in the area where we open the business. We're currently in negotiations with the landlord to sign a lease for a location within Quincy. We have not signed it yet, but we have been going back and forth for the past 4 weeks to do that. Unfortunately, I don't want to disclose the location until the lease is actually signed, and I hope that it will be completed within the next 4 weeks or so, and then we will be submitting an application to transfer the license to be used at the new location.
Excellent, thank you. Any questions or concerns from anyone in the audience?
We don't need a vote, right? It's just an update?
Right, I think we could probably continue it for 90 days and...
Yeah, yeah.
see.
Because that building was taken by Emmett
Right,
anyway,
that's right.
So you
It
have some
was,
more time.
it's properly before us, it was paid for, it was signed for, so I would say if we could update in 90 days, that would be a fair assessment?
Yep, 90 days sounds good.
Okay,
Thank you.
looking for a motion.
Motion to continue the case of the Bistro Chi, 39 Cottage Ave, 90 days for a status hearing.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All set, Tony, thank you. Thank you. Next on the agenda is Angelo's Cold Fire Pizza at 1657 Hancock Street, all alcohol beverage license for a restaurant. Mr. Brian Leonard Mr. Brian Leonard is not here today. This situation, the license was signed for but not paid for. So, and we got a letter from the owner of the building saying that the lease was no longer valid. So therefore, I would go ahead and make a recommendation that we cancel the license for Angelo's Coal Fire Pizza. We did send proper notice, and they were asked to be here today, but I have not heard from them. So looking for a motion to cancel for failure to operate at the licensed premise for non-payment.
And to make a motion in the case of Angelo's Coal Fired Pizza, 1657 Hancock Street, all alcoholic beverages restaurant license. I'd like to make a motion to revoke the license. Motion to cancel for failure to operate at the licensed premise and non-payment of fees for the license.
Second?
All in favor? Aye. Number 2 on the agenda is hearing to provide update on certain Section 12 license holders. S6, 1550 Hancock Street, all alcohol beverage license. Mr. Edward Cochran has informed us that he is indeed not going to renew his license and did not pay for his license for that S6 license, so that will go back. Len Sen, 1554 Hancock Street, all alcohol beverage license, restaurant license. Attorney Peter Lim, again, same thing. They are not going to renew the license. The Imperial Terrace, 105 C Street, all alcohol beverage restaurant license. They too are not going to renew their license. So we will take those back, and they will go back into the queue. Other business will be the election for the license board chair and vice chair. Looking for a nomination for the chair.
I nominate Nicole Crispo for the chair.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Looking for a nomination for the vice chair.
I make a motion to nominate Jay Duca. He's done a wonderful job over the past year.
I second that nomination. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Looking for a motion to waive the reading and approve minutes from the previous hearing.
Make a
Motion
motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And it has come to my attention, unfortunately, this is going to be the last meeting for Jack Cadigan, and we are sorry that you aren't going to be on our board anymore. We will miss you, but we wish you the very best in your retirement. Congratulations
Thank you all.
for a...
You've been wonderful to me, all of you, and I appreciate it.
Congratulations, Jack.
Congratulations,
Good luck.
Jack.
We're going to miss you.
Our next meeting is January 21st, 2020. Looking for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.